Hi there, I'm meteorologist Mariel Ruiz. Here's what you have to know about not only today's weather, but the next several days. We're settling into rain-free days for the most part. There is a small opportunity to see rain along our eastern and southeastern counties on Friday and Saturday, all as tropical moisture moves inland. And I'll get to that. But the rain-free days will lead to higher heat and the humidity that sticks around that makes our heat index really soar. We're also looking at tropical activity in the Gulf. And again, I'll talk about that and how it could potentially impact parts of Texas. Today, though, we made it to a high of 94 degrees. 96 is normal for this time of the year, so we were trending just below that, even though it felt like the triple digits for a good chunk of the afternoon. Now, the morning low today was 78. This is a couple degrees warmer than what's considered normal. This often happens when you have warmer than normal lows and cooler than normal lows in the summertime when the humidity is very high. You get a lot less temperature fluctuation whenever you have a lot of moisture in the air. Today, pollen was at a moderate, fungus at a low count, and this is generally going to stay true for the next several days. We don't generally see a big change in our pollen count unless we see a big wind shift or if we see rain. Right now it's 90 degrees, even at 8:30 in the evening. So we're still holding on to some of that heat, and the humidity is still elevated. That's still keeping the heat index at the moment right at about 96. Wind is out of the southeast anywhere between 10 to about 15 miles per hour. That southeast wind is going to help continue to bring in moisture streaming in from the Gulf. Overnight shapes up like this. Temperature of about 83 degrees at midnight. 80 degrees around 3 and 77 degrees to kick off tomorrow morning. A lot of locations tomorrow starting off in the mid-70s across the Metroplex. A little bit cooler to the south, especially to the southwest where air is slightly drier. Drier air tends to cool down faster, and that's where we see temperatures dropping a few more degrees in the morning time. Tomorrow afternoon, we could very well make it to about 98 degrees in Dallas, 99 in Fort Worth, Denton, and in McKinney. Now, if we make it to 98, it'll be the new hottest day of the year. July 10th, a high of 97 degrees was reported at DFW Airport, and that is currently the hottest day of the year. So tomorrow we could very well beat that, but notice that I don't have on the chart 100 degrees. I do think that will stay in the upper 90s, although the heat index will be in the triple digits for a good portion of the afternoon. Most of us stay rain-free on Thursday, but Thursday afternoon and evening we could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly to the southeast of Henderson and Navarro County, where there will be a little bit better moisture available. For the rest of us, it'll be dry. Our UV index for tomorrow starts out pretty mild, around 9, only at a 2, but it goes up to a 9 at noon, which is considered high to very high. And it does peak around 2 or 3 in the afternoon at an 11, which is considered extreme. That just simply means that any prolonged period of time outdoors could cause damage to the skin. So be sure to wear that SPF, the hats, and the sunglasses. After that, the next several days, well, they stay hot and humid. A high near 97 on Friday. This weekend, a high near 96 on Saturday, 97 on Sunday. But the heat index will generally climb every day. It'll be near 101 on Friday, 103 Saturday, and 104 on Sunday, with morning lows in the upper 70s. And here's why. We have a ridge of high pressure, or the heat dome, that's going to take back over our weather pattern, and that generally keeps any disturbances or big systems well to the north. Now, whenever this takes hold of our weather pattern, we're going to see the heat and the humidity climb and rain really struggle to form under these circumstances. At this point in the summer, the only time we generally see any moisture coming back into play in the form of rain is if a tropical system comes in. And I'll get to that. But I do want to show you how our temperatures really over the next 5 days stay pretty close to normal. Normal is 96. We'll be within 2 degrees of that from tomorrow through early parts of next week. The only thing that's changing is how high the heat index climbs. By the time we get to Sunday and Monday, the heat index could reach about 104 or 105, and at that point is when we start to see heat alerts get issued for parts of this part of the country, so in North Texas. So we'll be likely talking about the potential for some heat alerts early next week. At the moment, there are not any in place. Okay, now let's talk tropics. We've got an area of low pressure that is currently to the west of Panama City and is generally heading towards the west. You can see a lot of rain piling in along coastal Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and that's all part of that area of low pressure. Now, this area of low pressure is showing signs of a tropical activity, and right now it does have about a 40% chance of it becoming a tropical cyclone, and at that point it'll gain a name. And the next name on the list is Dexter. That means we have already had 3 named storms in the Atlantic hurricane season for 2025. So the next name is Dexter. There's a really medium to low chance of this actually becoming a named storm. So let me show you why. Most models and every line that you see there indicates a different model that we look at. So it's a lot of them, I know. Most models generally show this area of low pressure heading right to New Orleans. You see, tropical systems need open, warm water in order to not only develop but strengthen. And every model here is basically showing this hovering the coastline. That means part of the low pressure is touching land. So that could hinder some of the development here in the next couple of days. And by the time it does stay inland somewhere along the Louisiana coastline, it really doesn't have a chance to get a name after that. So what these models are showing is that it moves into coastal Louisiana before taking a turn towards the north, towards Arkansas. One of the things that's steering this area of low pressure is the heat dome that's currently moving across the country. So a lot of the models are showing that the center of circulation of this low stays outside of the state. And what that means is that we won't see any direct impacts. Now, we could still see some moisture with this. So let me show you what one model is showing here. So you see a lot of rain. This is Thursday morning around 7 in the morning. You see a lot of rain near New Orleans, so coastal Louisiana. And you see that area of circulation kind of becoming a lot more loose as it turns and makes its way into northern Louisiana. So this is now Friday around noon. You still see a lot of moisture in southeast Texas, so we could very well see some downpours, some heavy rain for areas of southeast Texas. Now, as this does take a shift towards the north, you could see a few little showers and thunderstorms, just the very outer rim of this area of low pressure, making it into areas of southeastern North Texas. So that's what brings our small potential for rain on Friday and on Saturday. Otherwise, we are staying rain-free for the foreseeable future. Temperature tonight drops to 77. It's going to be warm, humid with light winds. That light wind will make it feel very still come tomorrow morning, and we're not going to see much in the way of wind tomorrow either. A high near 98 with a heat index near 101. So that humidity that I was telling you about, that tropical moisture, that could very well stay in the area. It'll bring our humidity up, and that's why the heat index is climbing Sunday, Monday. But that humidity is also why we will struggle to make it to 100 next week. I think we get very close to it. In the next coming days, I might change my mind and throw a triple-digit heat day, and it would be the first one of the season. But as of now, I'm not putting it in the forecast. High temperatures will be in the upper 90s most of next week, with little to no rain chances. Thanks so much for joining us on WFAA Plus for our extended weather coverage. I hope you join us on WFAA News at 10.